All right.
I have no clue.
All right, the time is 10 o'clock, and we can have everybody write the invitation.
Lord, we come to you at the close of this year with grateful hearts, thanking you for your constant presence and provisions. Thank you for the journey we've shared, for the challenges that strengthen us and the accomplishments that brought growth. As we transition into a new season, grant us your divine wisdom and a clear strategic vision for what lies ahead. Help us to release our anxieties and trust in your sovereign plan, empowering us to serve with courage, unity, and compassion. Bless each member of the board and our entire organization, that we may continue to be a force for good, bearing fruit for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic nation under God, indivisible, with justice and honor. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to Texas, state under God. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Kevin Kishnick,
Here.
Devin Bakta,
Here.
Susie Sullivan,
Here.
Ed Bennett,
Here.
Caitlin Shu,
Here.
John Cudd,
Here.
Deanne Haviland, Gabriel Hilpo,
Here.
James McGill,
Here.
Deborah Moody,
Here.
Melissa Vela,
Here.
and Terry Noah. We have a quorum, sir.
The meeting of the Board of Directors of Nueces County Appraisal District has been called to order, and let the record show that the quorum of the board members are present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Government Code 551, and any conflict of interest affidavits have been received and placed on file as required by law. Do we have any public comment?
No, sir.
Moving on, item number 6, discussion and interaction on consent agenda items. Do we have any questions or concerns about the items on the consent agenda? For approval of the minutes? Of what?
You're gonna do the minutes and then all things, or just?
No, it'd be all of it.
Okay. I don't have any significant concerns. I just had a comment about a couple of things, and I don't know if we want to do it like when we get to the finance committee, because it has to do with the financials and the checks.
Let's see here, is it on the, is
So-
it concerning the disbursements?
That's one of the comments. And the
Yeah,
other
so,
comment
yeah,
is,
go ahead, let's.
okay,
address
well,
the
actually, I
disbursements.
am, okay. So, and this is just a request, it's not a big deal. We used to get these a certain way, and it seemed like it really wasn't very helpful to just list out things. So then we asked for it by amount, and that's even more helpful. But I was wondering if we could get even more information so that it's just not numbers on a page. And what I can think of is, and I don't know if, this is just however we think we might want to provide more information so that it's actually useful. It can be either, I guess it can't really be verbal because this is usually consent, but if maybe if it can be written. Okay, so for example, we've got, $73,000, and then we've got all these little things. And so the thing that I always think about is, are some of these large amounts monthly? Are some of them quarterly? Are some of them a one-time gig with the TY Pickett? Sometimes there's a contract, and this is like payment number 3 of 4, and this is the last one. Just a little bit more info so that we won't, because those are always the questions I think of when I see these numbers. Like, is it regularly paid, or or is it? I just don't.
Like.
That would be very helpful.
Contract, just more
Yes.
detail.
Yes.
Okay.
Were there any other questions or items on?
And so our consent agenda usually lists all the things. It doesn't list the financials, which is new. We started including them, but they're not listed. And then again, kind of like what I was saying about the disbursements, just having the numbers on the page, I'm glad that we're starting to see these. That's good, because we never saw financials. But if we could also have, even if it's just a couple of things like, oh, here's one or two items that were over budget significantly or under budget significantly, and why, you know, that would be great. And if there aren't any budget busters or any savings, then we could just say that. But I mean, even the type is really light, hard to read. So it's good that we have the financials finally, but if they're just there, numbers on the page, if we could get just a little bit more highlights, that would be great.
Thank you, Susan. Any other concerns or questions, comments from the board? On any of the items, litigation or expenditures? Okay, hearing none, need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Susie,
I'll second.
second by John. All in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And next, we have Secretary Liaison Officer report.
Good morning. As you can see, there is no report because nothing to, the ARB, needless to say, is not in session. Just reiterating that I submitted the applications for ARB and for the chair and the secretary. And so everyone is anticipating that those and hoping they will be done today. Several of the new applicants have called me and, you know, have they done it yet? I'm like, no, not yet. So anyway, that's all that is. But I also wanted to take the opportunity to thank the board. You have been such a great support system for me over the last 4 years, and I really have enjoyed being the TLO, and I enjoyed being on the ARB prior to that. But this is a really good board, and I have said to multiple people who do not work here that I have a lot of confidence in what y'all are doing, and I know that you will support whoever comes after me as much as you have given me support. But again, I appreciate it, and I'm not going to cry, but I will miss you all.
Thank you, Terry. It's been. We've enjoyed working with you as well.
Thank you.
Job well done.
Pardon me?
Job well done.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay.
All right, there's no action on that. So we are going to move on to items number 8 and 9, and I'm going to table this for just a few minutes. We have a very, very brief executive session on this. So we're going to go into executive session on items number 8 and 9. And don't go far because this is going to be quick. Okay, the time is now, I can't see it, is it 10:08?
Yes.
10:08, and we're going to go into executive session.
Read the notice.
All right, the time is now 10:16 and we're back in regular session. So that'll be quick. All right. Item number 8, discussion or action to approve order designating appraisal review board members and auxiliary appraisal review board members setting terms of office. For the regular board, can I get a motion to appoint Tracy Jackson and Daniel Gallegos to a 1-year term beginning January 1st of 2026?
So made.
And a second?
Second.
Motion made by Gabby, second by Devin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Opposed? Yep.
Okay. John Cut opposes. All right. And motion carries. Okay, can I get a motion to appoint the following 2-year terms beginning with January 1, 2026?
Not to interrupt, Kevin.
Yes.
Don't 2 of us elected have to agree?
Yes, they do.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
Okay.
you do, yes.
Easy. Did you agree? I did. I did not.
Okay, but
Well,
Mr. Bennett gets a vote as well.
Can Ed vote?
Yes.
Okay.
And I need to know if you, good catch, if you approve of the motion.
I voted affirmative.
I'm sorry, is that a yes? Affirmative? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion passes. So we have 2 of the 3 members, elected members approving the motion. All right, and can I get a motion to appoint the following 2-year terms beginning January 1st, 2026? Maria Benavides, William Schmidt, Sylvia Benavides, and Joseph Turner.
Motion,
Motion made by
James.
Okay, sorry, I can't hear. And I need a second.
Second,
Second by Gabby. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. All right. Now for the auxiliary board, let's appoint the 2-year terms first. Can I get a motion for the following 2-year term beginning January 1st of 2026? Deborah Lujan, Terrence O'Connor, Benjamin Robles, Manuel Del Llano, Elias de los Santos, Homer Martinez, Monica Simoncelli, Shelley Crumnow.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Susie. Second by Devin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, those appointments, so now for the 1-year. So there's no one appointed to the 1-year term. All right, and item number 9. Discussion and or action to select an ARB chairperson and secretary for the 2026 year.
Is Terry on?
Terry.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to identify who was up for chairperson?
For chair and secretary, yes. Thank you. Yes, Karen Green submitted a letter with interest to be chairperson. No one else did. And Sylvia Benavides submitted a letter to be secretary, and again, she was the only applicant for that as well.
Sylvia for
Secretary? Yes, and Karen for chair.
Green for chair.
Yes, sir.
All right, can I get a motion for, to appoint Karen Green for chair and Sylvia, what's your last name? Benavides for secretary?
All motion.
Motion made by James, sorry, I can't hear. And need a second?
I'll second.
Second by John Cudd. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Discussion or action to appointment of the taxpayer liaison officer, TLO.
So the position of taxpayer liaison officer was advertised on Indeed and on the Nueces Appraisal website. The applications that were received were forwarded to you in the backup material. Of those that were received, only 2 applicants provided the information requested in the application. Those 2 applicants were contacted and are here today. The board has a couple of options. We can call these individuals up to the podium so that they can introduce themselves and the board can interview them and move forward with an appointment today. Or the second option is to appoint an interview committee to interview the applicants and bring a recommendation back to the board for consideration at their next meeting.
What would the board like to do?
I'll take y'all's advice.
My recommendation, my personal opinions on this is I think maybe we just have the 2 applicants from tell us why they're applying and possibly see if we can make a decision. If we can't make a decision at that point, we can.
Stay here.
Since they're both here, I'd like-
Yeah.
maybe they can.
Absolutely.
You complete your case and,
Yeah.
and tell us why you want to take on this position and we can decide accordingly. We've already seen the background information, so.
Mr. O'Brien, McCabe.
So the first person I have, I'm just gonna go by order of what's in the packet. It's, Brianna Salas. Again. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you for applying.
Hello, I'm Brianna Salas.
You go ahead. Just kind of tell us about yourself and.
Okay,
and-
I'm 29. I've been married for 6 years. I'm a foster mom. I'm from Jim Wells. I'm currently a student teacher at a local academy in Alice called the Livestream Academy. Trying to step out into a new field of a career or try to get into something different. I'm really a homebody, take care of my kids. I have 2 kids. I have 4 dogs, 2 cats, live in a ranch, take care of everything there. Pretty much it about myself. I'm pretty boring.
Sorry. Would, do any of the board members have any questions for him?
Can you give us maybe a little bit more about your work experience, so that we would know if you were, would be qualified to, for the information that is brought to you and how to handle it and such?
So I have about 7 years in childcare experience. This last, I want to say not this year, but the past year, I was an administrative assistant to a locally owned business in Jim Wells. I pretty much handled all the paperwork and conversations with all the clients and did all like the payroll stuff and worked in QuickBooks, Excel. I was the assistant for the owner and his daughter, and she was in a different state, so I was like back and forth with both of them. There was crews outside that if they needed anything, they would come to me, and then I would go to my boss, discuss whatever was needed. That was that, and then I was another administrative assistant for a daycare that I worked at previously as well, and it was me and another employee besides my bosses, and we took care of about 12 children, and I did basically everything: errands, paying bills, getting all the payments from the parents, sending emails to workforce if needed. Pretty social person in the jobs that I've had.
Can I ask you, what do you think you would need to do if you get the position? How do you see your?
I was reading a little bit about it, and I saw that I would have to get like information, I guess, like on I don't know, I really didn't understand it a little bit, but I'm assuming that I would have to get information about payments and stuff like that, and then come back and talk to you guys about anything that I saw.
Do you understand who you represent?
Not really. But I am a fast learner. I do pick up very quickly.
It's, do you, when you applied for it, did you read up on what the position wants you to do?
Yes, I did read through the description.
But you didn't understand it?
I was trying to go through it last night, but I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brian McCabe?
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Good morning. My name is Brian McCabe, and I am applying to be the taxpayer liaison. Y'all have seen in my paperwork, I spent 5 years on the ARB. In the 5 years, I chaired many, many panels, multifamily, commercial, single family, residential, you name it, we did them. I turned off, so that's there. I am worked with Terry in her capacity as chair and her capacity as TLO. And Terry and I have worked together. I consider her to be a friend, so I'm very familiar with what the TLO does and what they don't do, which I think is one of the more important things. TLO cannot overrule the ARB. TLO cannot overrule the appraisal. You basically are dealing with disgruntled people who are not really happy with what just happened, and you try to work through it with them, try and go over, explain, and any remedies they may have if they wish to pursue them. Coordinating with the ARB and the appraisal district, I think it's a primary part of the job. In my background, I think you'll have seen that. I am a 50-year attorney. I've never brought that to the board, or to the panels or anything. I mean, people ask me, they'll say, oh my God, you sound like a lawyer. Yeah, I do. But I don't come in there and say, I'm a lawyer. Never. I just don't think that's appropriate, what we do for a living. I am a current member of the bar. I don't do anything that I think in any way conflict with the appraisal district or the ARB or the county, for that matter. I retired. I'm 74 years old. I am still of counsel to my firm, but I really don't do much. I'm doing fine. I'd like to get this job because I did miss the ARB. And one thing I could say about the ARB is that it was very intense, very intellectually stimulating, and I made a lot of good friends. And I have those friends to this day. And we continue to. Mr. Johnson's out there. We have coffee every Wednesday. There's 4 or 5 of us that do. You make good friends on the ARB because you're in the battle together. So you get to do that. Any questions you may have? I'm not going to go to the chairman and say I am a proud Longhorn, but he knows that. So I know he's an Aggie, and many of you may be. My one regret on that, as I told the chair, is I wish the Aggies were playing the Longhorns on Saturday in golf. But they didn't make it, and they did. So kid,
We won't hold that against you.
I figured I'll be up front. Just go ahead and put it on the table. But that does not enter into any discussions with the appraisal district. They don't know that. That's it. I'll stand for questions.
Does anybody from the board have any questions? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, so, would anybody like to make a motion to appoint?
I'll make a motion to appoint Brian McCabe as the Nueces County Appraisal District taxpayer.
I'll second that. Take it, Joe.
All in favor of Mr. McKay?
It's
Post
gonna
same
be,
sign. And I do need to point out that this is a motion to appoint subject to a contract execution. So,
We still have the contract to
we still have to sign. So,
deal with.
but this is a contract. Anyway, so the motion to appoint subject to contractual execution, Mr. McKay. All in favor? Post same sign. Motion carries. And I want to thank both applicants for your time. Really, thank you all for looking at this. And look forward to working with you. All right, we'll moving on to item number 11.
Okay. That's going to be me. Just an update. We are moving forward in a timely manner, working with Woods Scotia on the procurement process. So there'll be more details to come in January. Want to make sure that everything is out there for the public, for anybody and everybody at the same time. So barring that detail, more details will come in the January 8th meeting. But we are moving on target. And that's all I have for that.
All right, and then item number 12, discussion or action related to quarterly payments, and waiving entity penalties and interest pursuant to tax code section 6.06.
Morning. So, we have one entity that has asked to be waived from penalties and interest. Their payment, was due September 30th. It didn't get to our office until afterwards. And according to the code, the payment is delinquent if it's not paid at the time, that date that is due. So it's a 5% on the amount of payment of the interest and 10% of the annual rate. But also in the same subsection K, the board can waive those charges for a good cause. And their cause is in section 12. They have had a lot of turnover in their accounts payable department. The person that was in charge didn't leave a good training process for the person coming in. They didn't know that they had to get it here by the due date or before the due date. And they've always had good payment record. They've never been late. They've never had any issues. And they're asking the board to waive their interest and penalties.
Can you identify who you're speaking of?
I'm sorry, Cal Allen ISD.
How late were they?
They were a few days late.
I was looking at the supporting docs and maybe I missed it, but did we have the amount? Can you tell us the amount?
Yes, so I have the penalty and interest. It's $4,512.
I'm sorry?
$4,512 and 2 cents.
Is our only option to do completely waiving it or charging him the whole, or could a third option be some amount in between?
So per the code,
Mm-hmm.
you can waive the penalty and interest. There's no in between. The subsection K specifies that. It says, for a good cause shown, the board of directors may waive the penalty and interest on the delinquent payment from subsection E.
Here's my thoughts on it. We're robbing Peter to pay Paul. These are taxing
Yeah.
jurisdictions, it's taxpayer money. I don't see any reason to not waive the penalty.
I would just like to go into one little detail. They said that the invoice received does not have the same language about the due date. So just in case this happens, they said that if you look at the details, while the budget allocation letter explained the quarterly payments must be received by the due date, but the invoice does not have the same language.
So that has been
Remedied?
yes.
Okay, that was
And-
just for me,
yeah.
because system-wise, then everyone can come back and tell us that,
Yes,
so,
no,
okay.
and we looked into that
Okay.
and we made it
Okay.
to where the invoice
you.
matches exactly
the
the section
requirement.
E,
Okay.
subsection E.
Perfect.
So there was no more
Good job.
confusion.
Okay.
And we talked to the entity, we explained it to them, and like I said, they've always had a
Okay,
good
so-
record on their payment historically. They've never been late, never had any issues, never asked for any waives on penalties or interest.
I'll make a motion to waive.
Second.
Motion made by Kevin and second by Gabby.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
No? Motion carries. All right, item number 13, discussion or action regarding receipt of the final 2024 financial.
Yes, that's me again. So on our board meeting in November 13th, we said we would email the board of directors the final copy of the audit report, and we did. And I just wanted to ask the board to acknowledge a receipt of the audit report. And we've also provided a copy in your book.
We got an email?
Yes, I sent it.
I didn't get it.
I don't remember seeing it either, but I could have overlooked it. I get a lot of
We
emails.
need to verify. those two and make sure that we have that exact email, correct? Or the
Okay, I will verify.
method
I
of
did bring the
notification.
email as well that was sent in November, on November 13th. If you guys, I can resend it as well again, but I did bring that as well.
It could have been too large.
I see it right here, Irma.
Caitlin,
Kevin,
we'll
were
check hers too.
were you
Yeah,
able to see it, or
I see mine right here.
you see it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was overlooked on my end.
It could have gone to spam too. Who knows what, so. But don't, yeah, just double check it. Verify.
yeah. I didn't get any non-deliverable, so I did make sure to keep an eye on that just in case because of, the file.
Take a look.
Okay.
If we can get a motion to receive the final 2024 financial audit.
Yes, need a motion to receive the final 2024 audit.
Motion.
Motion by James, second by
Okay, and I do have it.
Okay,
by
good.
John. All in favor?
I,
Post same sign.
yep, I hope my emails aren't going to your spam, but if
Motion
they are,
I know,
yeah,
we need a remedy.
All right, item number 14, discussion or action related to GASB 54 designation funds.
So again, on our November 13 meeting, we did talk about the designations of our GASB 54 per our audit numbers. Again, if you want to take a look, we did touch on it. It's on page 31 of the final audit report. And I did say that we would bring back a resolution so the board can approve and sign that. And that's what we have brought back, a resolution of our designation of funds for our GASB 54
In tab
in our audit report.
You're going to read that resolution?
You don't have to, but you do need a motion to approve the resolution.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the resolution of the GASB 54 designation of funds. Motion by Devin, second by Gabby. All in favor? Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. I know, I'll be here all day. I'm just kidding. I will be here all day.
Well, that was just real fast. I was still trying to read it, but whatever.
Right.
Next time, we should probably give a little bit more time for question discussion.
Well,
I don't even have a question yet, if I haven't read it yet. You know what I mean? Because,
It was in the packet, so.
yeah, but after she gave that information, that was like more information that added to it.
Well, would you like to?
We're
I can table it.
good. No, we're good. We're good.
Would you like to table it? We can
Nope,
bring it back next
nope,
week?
nope.
Sure. All right, discussion or action to approve year-end budget line item transfers.
So we are asking the board to approve our proposed plan for assigning any residual 2025 surplus funds based on the estimates of our year-end figures. We are at overrun in the supplies and operation expenses. And we are over by 87,628. We are not over in our vehicle expenses, so we have some residual there. And we are overrun on our professional services, 94,197. And we are over in the capital outlay. Now, in the capital outlay, I would like to note that per our March 5th meeting this year, we had to do our payments for the outside legal counsel for the board of directors through that account. And also, which would come from our third floor remodeling. That's why we're over on that capital outlay.
And
we're
what
also,
was, I'm sorry, can you go ahead and also explain what the third floor remodeling was done at that time? Because you're saying March, going back to March, was that?
yeah, in March, the board asked where will we get the funds for Escutia Woods, which is our consulting firm for our RFP, RFQ, and also for the legal counsel for the board of directors. We said that we have funding per the GASB 54 for our in our remodeling third floor fund. And the board accepted to get the funds from there. And that is why we're over. We are also over because of our vehicle. We purchased a vehicle. However, we do have some revenue that we have revenue per our auction that we had in June for our vehicles that we were able to make out of that auction only for the vehicles in the summer 34,710. So that would be coming from our revenue that we acquired during our auction. And also we had a revenue surplus in October when the board gave us permission to auction any equipment, furniture, anything that was up in the third floor. And that was $935.25. So all that together, our revenue is $35,645.25, along with any interest that we've acquired from our investments as well. So we do have the funding to transfer to the other accounts that are overrun.
The supplies and operating expenses, can you kind of expand on what the overages are on that?
Yes. So that would be our computer supplies. And that would be our, sorry, I need it.
And also one other question, so I'll make sure I understand this correctly. These overruns, are these the forecast overruns in a year end, or are we actually over as of now?
So as of now, per our expenditure report that we provide monthly, it does show that they're overrun as of now.
Okay.
Yes. And they will be overrun. We're overrun on those as of today. And we also are overrun on the telephone and internet, and that's due to having a different vendor as well. So, and then we're overrun.
Price increases that weren't forecast.
Yes.
Okay.
And then also in education, we're overrun in our, let's see.
In the education.
Security, we have gone with a different type of security, and that's that's more of an increase to our budget.
Professional services?
Yes.
Okay.
That's coming from supplies and operating expenses.
The security is?
Yes.
It should be under professional.
Really should be under professional
Yes.
services.
Well, we had to divide it,
Okay.
so.
And so on the education, there's an education and there's a travel for education, and the transfer would be from one to the other. Is that on the overage?
Yeah, we would transfer the funding that is available in one account to our other accounts within the operating expenses, and also in our professional services that we have funding
I
available.
really think the security should not be kind of supplies and operating. It really should be professional services.
I'm not
So-
sure that it falls under professional services.
Okay.
We can look at that.
Okay, just look at it and see, just make sure it's in its appropriate spot.
Exactly.
That way, next year when we budget, we can
Mhm.
try to
Mhm.
account for that and get it where it needs to be.
Yes, well,
So the overages and the professional services were partly due to Escutia Woods, and
mhm.
that's part of it?
Well, Escutia Woods comes from the capital outlay,
Right,
so that's our overages there in the capital outlay.
but the number shown here,
Yes,
the reason it's over because we hadn't planned for Escutia
We
Woods, but we
hadn't.
do, okay.
yeah.
Is there any of this over because of the audit going longer?
No.
Okay.
Somebody else have any questions or concerns? Okay. So we are gonna be transferring, is it $270,000?
So we will be transferring, we have our our 32,000, our 34,000 from the vehicles, that's coming from our revenue. So we wouldn't touch any of the residual funding that we have on the accounts from there, because we do have that from the auction. But we will be and then, of course, from the funding from the third floor, that would also be separate. So what we would actually be transferring from the accounts that have a balance would be 180,399.26. So on the transfers, it shows the whole amount of what it is, but I can give you the breakup because we have the revenue from the auction items, that's 34,000. And we have the gas B54 where we're going to transfer that funding from. But the total amount is 180,000 without those two items.
Okay, because
Yeah.
you're eliminating the 35,000,
Yes.
the 30, whatever. thousand.
Yeah.
So can you run down what the totals are? You have 270 to 88 here, and then you're subtracting the 30.
Yes.
There
What
really
items
should
are
be-
you
there really should be
subtracting?
captured on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that because the way I see it, we're transferring 270,000.
Yeah, right.
We need to show a debit in there somewhere for that offset.
We need to show
Okay.
all the items.
Okay.
I think we need to table this item.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to table item number 15.
Second.
Second by Gabby. Any other discussion? All in favor for table?
Aye.
Hello?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Motion carries. All right, we'll bring that back next month. All right, receive a report identifying current appraisal district contracts.
So our only add to this list would be our bank, which is Frost Bank. Their term would expire in May of 2026.
Which one was it?
Frost Bank,
It was our financial service expired in
May 2026, yes.
Okay, and so what do we need to do? Do we need to be starting to move on to begin looking at the,
I believe what was done before was that they put out an RFP,
Okay.
so we can get bids.
if memory serves me correct, I think there were some extensions available. Do we know if those extensions are
I think-
available or not?
I think we might already used our
Or have we used all
extension.
the extensions? Okay.
Yes,
So,
we had 2-year options,
okay, we've done the two already?
yes.
So-
Kevin, is there any rules against credit unions, or does it have to be a bank?
It's going, well, what happens is it goes up for RFP. And then the packets are sent out to people who request those packets, who have the funds available, because they have to be able to
Collateralize.
back it up
With
with,
the FDA.
Got it.
and so, because our deposits are well over the FDIC limits and the NCUA limits, so there's only certain institutions that are large enough to be able to do that, and so there's some limitations for them. So, we probably need to start working on that RFP pretty
Right
soon, because
Yeah.
there's a vetting process that has to go through with that, and it's not something we can just do in 30 days. So I would recommend we
Sorry,
get
January.
that RFP and put out probably by no later than January. And we don't need any action on that, I don't believe. Do we?
No.
No, it's just kind of direction, so we can get that going on. All right. Any other comments or anything?
Not right now. What we are going to talk about is the contract, the master's touch, which is on the list. It's coming up for renewal in January,
Okay.
but that is on the next tab.
Okay, so we will go on to item number 16. Discussion action for printing, 17. Discussion action regarding the printing and mailing contract with the master's touch and authorized to the president to execute.
So there was no price change because the vendor is supposed to notify us by December 1st if there's any price changing on our price list that they gave us when we contracted with them. They did not give us that by December 1st. So there's no price change. And this would be exercising our second year.
And we verbally confirm that.
Yes,
Okay.
we have email confirmation.
Anybody have any questions about that? Entertain motion to accept. Instead,
So moved.
Second.
motion by Devin, second by Susie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, and then moving on to number 18. Appointment of investment committee.
So we have,
So per our
policy.
investment policy,
Yep.
on section 12, the board may delegate its duties in the policy to an investment committee consisting of the chief appraiser, assistant chief appraiser, director of administration, and 3 board members.
Okay, and so what I'd like to do is, look. So I'd like to go ahead and I think we need to appoint 3 members to the investment committee. And what's another?
I'm interested.
Okay,
I'll help.
Susie, who else? Who else? We need 3.
I'll do it.
John, and one more. I'll nominate Caitlin.
If you would have nominated Caitlin, I would have nominated Caitlin.
I'll do it.
All right.
I was trying to hide over here.
Yeah, I know you
Yeah.
are. So- You're not getting away that easy. All right, so, need to so I'll make a motion to appoint Caitlin, Susie, and John to the, as a 3 district board of directors to the investment committee.
Second.
Yeah, second by Devin. All in favor?
Right.
Both same sign. Motion carries. All right, and then discussion on board of directors monthly meeting schedule for 2026. Just want to make sure that as we go into the 2026, that we have a time frame that works for everybody. And so first things first, what time is good for you, everybody? Is Thursdays at 10 still good? Is that working for everybody?
Yep.
Yay, nay?
Yay.
I should.
I'd like to make it earlier, like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It seems like it just.
I'm good with 9.
I like earlier
I
too.
like earlier as well. You want to move it back to 9?
Can we meet in the middle, 9:30?
Sure. It's our meetings, I mean, close.
9:25.
And Joel's time, so.
9:30?
9:30.
9:30.
9:32.
Kayla, does that work for you? 9:30? All right, got a thumbs up there, so. All right, so we'll move our times to 9:30 starting in. The board meeting dates right now stand as January 8th, February 12th, March 12th, April 9th, May 14th, June 9th, July 9th, August 13th, September 10th, October 8th, November 12th, December 10th, and then we'll have some other budgeting meetings in there, probably around the June timeframe. There'll be extra and then any emergency meetings as needed. Hopefully we don't have too many of those anymore. So we'll make a motion to,
Actually, no action.
no action.
And we'll bring it back at the January meeting and we'll have everything outlined where it says 9:30 with some additional language on there for everybody.
Perfect.
We'll do that.
That works for me.
Okay.
All right.
Regarding
Sure. go ahead.
meetings, special meetings, I understand like a budget meeting that's very specific, but I think for over a year now, I've been hearing about possible training that, and I don't count the one guy that came in that talked about all the things that we didn't ask for. my question is, if we were to have a special meeting that's just for like informational for
workshop?
board, yeah.
Mhm.
Would it have to be like, oh, we're not gonna have the meeting because we don't have that many people coming? Like, if it was, so I guess what I'm asking is, can it be so informal that, like, if something were offered, whether it was during the week or Saturday or whatever, and some people weren't interested, but if 2 or 3 of us were, and maybe Deborah wanted to come in or you to, can we meet in that capacity just to learn?
So I think what the question is does it have to be a quorum or not?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're just, again, over a year now, we had been asking, even when Ronnie was here, and that never happened. And I still feel kind of like, that request that several of us asked for, it just didn't happen.
So if it's less than a quorum, we don't have to have a meeting or a workshop or anything like that. So I think you can just coordinate with Deborah
Okay,
on that.
great.
I wouldn't want to do multiple, 3 here and 3 there, and then
But if that's the way it worked out, and if it's just coordinating on your own, like you said, you just said we could, but then you're saying we can't do that if
multiple
like
times.
let's say if Caitlin couldn't come, but I could,
Mhm.
but Devin could go when Caitlin could, like that's, I don't mean, I guess what I'm trying to get clarified is if you meant, if Deborah was offering to do it twice because people couldn't meet, and you just said we could coordinate that, but now you're saying we can't do it more than once?
Yeah, I mean, it just because of open meetings, but we'll look into that to see.
Okay,
We-
because like you said, open meetings isn't quorum, so that wouldn't,
Right, but
that
if you're
doesn't apply, right?
knowingly doing more than one, I don't know if that's.
And the only reason, right, but there's no decision, there's just learning. Again, workshop, I mean, we probably wouldn't even be doing hardly any talking except asking a question or two about something. So there's no action items, there's no
We'll have to
discussion.
look into that.
Yeah, we can look specifically when it has to do with workshop or training to see if it kind of falls kind of like when you go to a conference.
Yeah.
But just to kind of clarify, even if you're receiving information and you don't speak at all, the Open Meetings Act is very clear that if it's within your jurisdiction, that's considered a meeting.
Okay, so what did you just say then that you, initially you said it's perfectly
And I just
fine?
said we had to look into it. I mean,
Oh, no, the
yeah,
first
yeah,
comment
I mean,
you
I
said it was
did.
fine.
I said it's fine, like if it's for the 3 and you're gonna do it that one time.
Okay.
But then now you're talking about multiple times, and so that gets into something.
No, I only
different.
said multiple because you said multiple. I'm not looking for multiple. I was looking for one.
Okay, but we'll have
And
to
I
look
heard you
into-
say it was fine. Okay.
Okay, if I did, I apologize.
But either way, we do need to get that. That's a request that we've been asking for over a year. It needs to be figured out.
What, why don't you do
And
this,
schedule.
because we've selected a few times since we started, I know some
Yeah.
of the things that you wanted to cover. Could you kind of maybe bullet point some of those things and get those to?
I can say it in one comment right now.
Okay.
And that was the industrial district numbers. I'm just gonna say numbers because all of that with what, the big increase, what the issues were, the history behind that, and then, going forward, that's just something that,
I could cover that, maybe put that as an agenda item, we can just put that, I could probably do it in about 30, 40 minutes, and do that in the meeting, if that would be acceptable to y'all, or we
Give
can discuss
us
it.
a beat to like look into
Yeah.
what the best way is
Sure.
to
sure.
do that.
Yeah. We'll make
And
that-
then that way we can just make sure it's done correctly.
Sure,
And I don't know if it'll need to be a part of the meeting or not,
I
but
think
let's,
really, what the hunger for this is to understand the.
Sure.
Not just the history, but to understand how it correlates with the truth in taxation.
yeah.
Why, so it would probably be more of a discussion of truth in taxation explanation. of that. So that's something I'm endeavor to, because she was also a collector, we can do that as a workshop.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
We'll get that done.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? And discussion or action Okay, interim chief, well, last time it was the interim chief appraiser report.
Okay, so we have Texas A&M Annual Property Tax Institute, also known as PTI, is happening in College Station on December the 16th through the 17th. I am sending 2 coordinators to that conference. That's Mr. Jared Garcia and Ryan Swyan. Moving on to item B, the 45th Annual Conference for TAD. I believe at the last meeting, Miss Irene had some forms. A couple of you have already verified that you're interested in attending, and I believe we already have those forms, but there's also a form for you to sign in tab 22.
I took it out and I put it separate.
Okay. So any of you all interested in attending that? I believe there's an agenda also attached to the form that you would sign. And there's different options, like you can attend the whole conference, you can attend one day, dependent on the agenda items that you may be interested in, or, you know, whatever you choose. But yes, you would just let us know so that we can take advantage of the early bird registration, which is in January. Moving on to item C, update on the Board of Directors taxing entity election, the voting results. The appointed members were Devin Botka and Gabby Hilpold. Out of 21 entities, I'm sorry, out of all the entitled entities, we had 21 voted and unanimous decision. Moving on to item D, update on the third floor improvements. We actually have cleaned up a lot on the third floor. We will be going out for bids to be legal and fair about it. We'll be bringing back the results at the next board meeting as to how we'll propose moving forward. As of now, we've cleaned up a lot. We did have a few issues with electrical work up there when we were moving out all of the items through junk removal. We had two rooms that actually, when you flip the switch, a little ball of fire would just spit out at the electrical, at the lighting. So we've got an electrical contractor right now making sure that that is all up to code. So aside from that, like I said, at the next meeting, we'll bring back moving forward what will be required to do through potentially an RFP. And let's see. Then we have item E. Our next board meeting is January the 8th at 9:30. And we're looking into having some swearing in as necessary or required, having a judge here on that day.
And it'll be the entire board, or?
It doesn't have to be, everybody else is already sworn in, so I think it would just be the
Just be the
two
two
members
elected,
if
okay.
that's. And I say new members, but returning members.
Renewals.
Right.
Yes, renewals.
Prisoners.
Yes. And that concludes my report.
Anybody have any other questions, concerns, or items for the next meeting that you'd like to know or discuss that haven't been discussed yet? I also want to remind members, if you have anything that you ever do want to add to the agenda, if you will reach out to Melinda and Melissa about that, would that be the appropriate channels?
Typically it would go through administration.
Okay, who would they, you should reach out
With Deborah.
to? Okay, so you
Let
can
me
reach out
know.
to Deborah directly.
Let me know.
You know, if there's an issue that you would like to see on the meeting, it doesn't take a quorum or anybody to do that. you want to hear about it and just get your thoughts. And if you'll bring that to Deborah's attention, we'll put it on the agenda. So now just make sure you do so. What's the deadline for the agenda? When it needs to get done?
Usually a week
Usually.
before the meeting. We post the Friday before the meeting, and sometimes if there's a holiday in there, it's got to be Thursday. So if you give a 2-week, that's usually a good enough window to get it done.
And that's for posting purposes. For sure.
Changing the subject, since we're wrapping up the year, we're gonna vote on the chairman.
We do that at the next meeting.
That'll happen in January.
Okay.
That'll be on the agenda.
That'll be part of it.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to be chair? So. If we don't have anything further, I need a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Made by Gabby. All in favor? All right. Meeting adjourned, 11:07.